Welcome back. This will hopefully be the final episode in the Saltguard playtesting run. I don't know how many of these I will do, but for the time being, this is kind of going to be it. So let us see what we can do here for upgrades. Nothing really. We could get slightly more physical resistance on that. Poison resistance, blah, blah, blah. I'll do the one ash pure. So then I believe all of our equipment is level 1 except for our gloves, apparently. Okay. Let's see. This is an all defense thing. This is supposed to be 5 attack speed. Let's see if it's actually working. My game will pause for a second here as I debug this. Let's see here. That's not where I want it. That's where I want it. Let's actually attack. And yes, it is working, or at least it is calculating. I think the big thing is that 5% is not very big. So we already have 12% from my from this. Did sell a lot of my stuff last time. I think we just kind of went with the highest salt find. Yeah, pretty much that. I did, right before starting this filming, I did adjust some things here. Fast hitters, slow hitter are now multiplicative for this run. Probably for the next update, whenever that'll be, I will probably do the same. What this means is that getting attack speed here, or from something like that, which doesn't have any text on it, it does do 5% attack speed, 5% cast speed, and 10% run speed, something like that. So we're running super fast, I know, not really. Run speed really isn't very useful, and it might get removed in the near future. I thought it might be helpful, but I don't think it really is. What I was going to say is, in the past, I've made comments on having, like, this has a fast hitter on it. So fast hitter in the mod is nerfed. So fast hitter in the base game is 15% in Sacrifice and 10% in Sanctuary. For whatever reason, that's just how that is. And in the mod, I have returned it to the 10% that it originally was. Now, there is faster hitter, a level 2 of fast hitter, as well as slower hitter, a level 2 of slow. And these also have been modified to be kind of the same. So it goes 10% and then 15% for those instead of 15% and then 20%. And for this enemy, I probably want to use this instead. And I just really want him to get out of the way. Guiltless. I'll take a guiltless. Huh, that is the strongest throwing axe ever. But yeah, it'll mean that getting attack speed on secondary effects, or what I would call additive effects, global values, like the amulet, rings, charms, whatnot. All those are charms together. And then this, for example, the the offensive artifact or offensive relic, as I like to call them, relics. They will stack differently. They were intended to stack this way. And this means that fast attack weapons will get multiplicative scaling, but we're talking about very small multiplicative scaling. And faster attack weapons have been effectively nerfed for the same reasons. I apparently died there yesterday. I can hit through floors. I am magical. There we go. You got fire resistance. Go figure. I would have never guessed. But anyway, I'm going to switch weapons here when we're dealing with these guys. I don't really care about the... Wow, that went way too high. Ooh, an emerald feather. Let me see if this is glitched. Look, it's glitched. So what happened here is it rolled the original system. I thought these were working. I guess not. The treasure chests in the city were working, but I guess when they're out in the world, for whatever reason, they're still rolling version 0 artifacts, so to say, vanilla artifacts. So on vanilla artifacts, there's at least one thing that just straight up doesn't work. So silver retained on death is disabled entirely, because silver retained on death is now 90% instead of 50%. It's more like Salt 1, and I removed it as a stat entirely. So it is disabled. Just, fire vomit and whatever that damage is. Hold light. Or dark light. I think it's dark light. Let's see here, did I miss anything? Bunch of dudes floating midair. Hate when that happens. Just suddenly lose all your gravity. Ooh, shimmering bud. Where does this lead? Well, it leads right here, apparently. Oh, let's actually take it. There is a kick ladder there. Let's go kick that ladder. It's such a simple thing, but I love these little kind of interactions. Trying to remember where this is. Oh, and it just goes this way. Okay. Not a big deal. It's helpful when you start doing, like, maybe a nameless mage, because, they wander around the towers and stuff in this area. So you do need this open before you can reach that. You can't jump to it. Okay, that was weird. We have the capacity to upgrade our fire sword at the moment, because we got a blaze trio earlier. That's nice. Gonna be another level 0. Yeah. They're defaulting to level 0 because of how it structures the artifacts. It's failing to give them a proper seed, effectively. Oh yeah, there's a glitch. I have piercing ammo as set as always, still, from testing. And we get a free mage kill. It's time to eat it. Mage devoured. Golden armlet. I have 3 zeros here, which makes me concerned. That should have been a level 12-ish. And we already had the walk run one, so... It must be this one. Pretty sure it's that one. So, yeah, artifacts are not spawning incorrectly sometimes. That's really irritating because I've messed with that over and over to make sure it works. And I did test the drop-down attack a bunch of times, and for whatever reason it was working the other day, and now it hits like 1 billion times. It's literally just a timer. It shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, we're gonna do this. And the boss should be right here. Wonder if I can get up here. I can. Okay. Because what I really wanted was to not have to deal with him for a second. Whee! We got salt chunk. Okay, so now we can... There's technically a thing down here. And this is the Nameless Bibliomancer. There we go. So the other one was the Nameless Kinetomancer. So, Tier 19. I just want to point this out. The named Bibliomancer is Tier 12, but the Nameless is Tier 19. I have no idea what the logic on that is. But that's just how that's structured. So in future updates, actually that is something I want to talk about. In future updates, I want to kind of manually go through and document. I don't know if anyone else has documented or exported it or whatever, but I want to go through and kind of manually document some of the values or levels. Ooh, Blaze Pyre Brick. Shouldn't be anybody up here right now. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything at the end of the hall, though. No, just a fall. There we go. Break my legs. I mean, if you really fell from that distance, you'd probably break more than your legs, but... The worm that does not die. This is actually one of my favorite bosses. As strange as that might sound. Not a big fan of these things, as I accidentally just ran into it trying to get close to it. Didn't mean to run in that circumstance. Oh, hey, I don't remember him having a stab attack like that. Okay. If you see the incantation symbol from Salt 1, it means get out of the way. Sure. Oh, he's got a follow-up attack now. Let's see if these are spawning incorrectly. Okay, I was apparently walking left while the slow world kind of happened there. Trio and cluster. I don't know which one it was there. Was it green? What just dropped? Yeah, it's just not dropping correctly anymore. That's really bizarre. I think that might have been one I already had. What did I just pick up? I thought it was... Yeah, it must have been that. I don't know. Either that or he's really low level, because I didn't just pick up, like, a high-level artifact. I don't know who I got the 15 from. It's like, this is a level 15 artifact for attack speed. I don't know where I got this. But yeah, I think there's some issues with, in my opinion, the balance of how strong enemies are, not just because of how strong they are, but how strong they are because of their random weird tiering. So for example, I think Bog Grandma Lady, Grindenia, I think she's like level 6. But then you go and do Fungalmancer as well, and Fungalmancer is like right before her, and Fungalmancer is like level 5. So little things like that. I love these zip lines. They're just so fun. Like seriously, that's not sarcasm. I really love them. Touch the door. I'm not going to actually fight him at the moment. But, you know. The Elder Cops. We can use this from the other side, apparently. Because that's important. There's usually a dude just hanging out down here. And no, there is nothing in this corner. I know people have, like, tried to, like, leap up here multiple times. There's nothing up here. It is just a dark nothingness as far as I am aware. Although there is... strangely, smoke right there. I swear there's nothing there. Oh, No! And I fall to my death. Well, that was eventful. Let's just do this. I'll just pop one of these. I don't really... Not saving them for a rainy day or anything here. But yeah, just, you know, adjusting a bunch of stuff for tiers, I think is a big deal. We're going to go level up real quick and see if we can max out this sword. We probably can, or get really close to it. We might only be able to get 2 levels out of it, because I don't know if I have enough trios and clusters and such. Yeah, we need 1 more cluster, but we have the brick. Oh, we have trios. Beautiful, beautiful. We need Golden Pyre cluster. I don't know where that is. I know there's a bunch of, like, trios and clusters in the world. I remember actually encouraging those to be in the world so that you had some baseline upgrades as well. I want to point out how little silver I have. I don't know how useful silver really is in the context of a game like this. Dark Souls doesn't have a secondary currency, but Salt always has. Let's see. We have enough endurance to wear our gear. We are level... Well, we have rank 40 strength, whatever you want to call it, rank. I am going to start leveling up either... Willpower would be useful. Could be useful. I think I'm just going to go with... Vitality, though. Or some Vitality nodes. That's a Vitality node. Oh. Class 2 Bludgeon is right next to Class 3 Bludgeon. Like, literally right next to it, huh? That's weird. So let's see, how do these weapons compare in attack? This is 95, and this one's 117. Now, a note, this one is fast hitter, so it has a 10% attack speed difference, which means it's basically 10% better than what is being displayed. You know, so they're really close together in real value there. What would that be? 104? I mean, it's not perfectly the same or anything, but 104. And then since I have the 12% attack speed, it means that this weapon isn't 12% attack speed. It would be like 1.1 times 1.2, 1.12. So we're getting around, what, probably 24% attack speed on that. I can literally just debug that or math it out because I'm lazy, though. Because we also have this up here. So let's just see what we get tallied up here. I'm using the right weapon, right? No, I'm not. Come on. Come on, Zephyr. Come on, pay attention to what you're using here. It's just a sword. So 17% attack speed is the other one. This one is 29% attack speed. And that's just how it is, I guess. I'm just gonna edit how I wrote this math here in the code. It's just a little messy. I'm just gonna do it that way. But making the base value of the weapon multiplicative, I think, is interesting. It does mean that attack speed bonuses on slower weapons aren't as useful. At the same time, they are, because they're true percentages. So if you're getting a 10% bonus on a weapon that is slow hitter, it's 0.9. Getting a 10% bonus, you're bringing it back to 0.99. You're not bringing it back to 1.0, but that's because the weapon itself is effectively... I'm treating the attack speed of the weapon itself as part of the baseline weapon, as if that is not a modifier to your character, but that the weapon itself is intended to be that slow. That is not how Salt 1 was. You could absolutely negate slow hitter. That was a lot of salt. I probably should not have used that. Oh, we have another potion we can get. Back over here. Give me a pyre. Oh. You can get pyre stones from those outcroppings. Not that I need the Lumina potion, but... On to the Undone Sacrifice. I think I needed to kick something down up there. Yeah, I did. They are neither weak nor resistant to that damage. I'm doing exactly 95. Okay, you're in my way. Nope. Not dealing with you. We're just ignoring you. There we go. 2 for 1. There we go. Perfectly timed dodge right after that attack. I feel proud of myself. What? What? I clicked the button. At least I kicked this down. I honestly can't tell a difference when it comes to fast hitter. I really just can't tell a difference. And I guess it's the difference of 17% bonus and 29% bonus right there, but even still. Open this door. What's out here? I don't actually remember. Oh, it's just traversal. It's been a while since I've done this late area of the game. There we go. Shortcut unlocked, just in case you need to come back up here for whatever reason. The gods demand sacrifice, their third, their due. This cannot be truncated. One believed he could end the cycle, become the sacrifice. Arrogant, came from the mountains, in Dreadstone Peak. Became a vessel for the gods' wrath. Overflowed, spilled. Arrogant, a mortal against the gods. Kick that down. There is a husk atop this place, mortal like you, a sylvan from the mountains. This shrine has a purpose, and his will was to subvert it, to be a levy steadfast against the waters of divine judgment. What mind this mortal possessed was destroyed long ago, scattered like ashes, scattered by the gods. When the mind broke, so too did the levy. The levy broke and the flood consumed all. So if you're not familiar, I'll be surprised if you aren't, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you're not familiar with the lore of this game, the Undone Sacrifice, he is a sacrifice. He tried to stop the rule of three. In this world, the gods demanded 1/3 of everything, including captors of war and children and everything. And so one of the 4 major monks of the Temple of 11 went on a journey and decided to come here, to the Elder Copse, and attempted to dam up the waters of the wrath of these gods. And in doing so, he stopped the sacrifices for a period of time, but has failed. The levee broke. The one atop the one at the top of the imperfect shrine is only a husk, but he now serves a purpose. From the ruins of his mind, a madness swells, spreading like miasma through the kingdom. Those who listen hear his whispers, but the voices are not his. Many are tempted, many seek power. They follow the whispers, and their greed transforms them. And so mortals became vessels of divine wrath, mages. When you reach the top of the imperfect shrine, what will you do? Cut down the suffering sacrifice? And then what? The gods demand sacrifice. But that's his last line. Yeah. Okay, so that's his last line. So the idea is there were 2 that embarked and 2 that stayed. We fought the 2 that remain at the temple. One was kind of like a bull, minotaur kind of guy, and the other was more of a knight, and we're wearing the knight's armor. And totally not a callback to like Dark Souls or anything. But anyways, one went to stop the gods by becoming a sacrifice forever. Another embarked to harness powers from what is called the Abyssal Fane in Salt and Sacrifice. And so Abyssal, the depths, Fane, sort of a temple or a shrine. The shrine at the bottom of the ocean, I'm going to call it. And in effect, he found that power, but he also lost himself in that power. Similar to the Undone Sacrifice, the nameless god forgot who he was, forgot his purpose, and was theoretically Sylvan. So he was mortal, and by basically coming to the power, this is how I understand the lore anyways, by coming to the power of the island of Salt, the nameless god, once a man, became the husk that he became. And so we see that the actual boss, the nameless god, is probably closer to a conjuration. Note that the nameless god in Salt and Sanctuary has some of the highest armor in the entire game, specifically to elemental damage. 500 to every element other than strike and slash. And so in effect, he is sort of this husk or shell. maybe he is really a salt creature that is wandering around as a memory. And of course the scarecrow, which is more of a man on a cross, but he is referred to as a scarecrow, represents a form of death and sacrifice as well. And so there is some semblance of some other things I'm not going to go into there that should be pretty obvious, but nonetheless, the point is that the scarecrow is probably actually the man, and the nameless god that we fight is probably a projection of what he became, his power. And then the nameless trapped the new gods, so to say, or maybe created the new gods, we don't really know, in the crypt of the dead gods, and he steals prayers from all the different continents, and the island sits in the middle of the world, in the Salt and Sanctuary world. And then this game is on the eastern continent, almost entirely on the eastern continent. Also, don't fight the boss right away. Come over here and grab this. I mean, you can grab it after, I guess, but pull him down. He's gonna grab. I knew it. He always tries to grab first for some reason. Oh, I forgot how many different combos he has. Okay, so this is still probably the better damage. Okay, I have to remember how this fight works. Oh, tried to parry him. That was a bad idea. I'm going to take this a little slower than I might normally. I do have some good defense here. And generally everything has been kind of nerfed. Should he have been nerfed? I don't know. Maybe not. And so that comes back to like the tiering stuff. As a note, do not stagger him in this event right here, because it means he will go right back into another attack. He really likes this attack right now. When he gets low health, he does do a flip after this. Oh, he kicked me, but he didn't grab me. Surprised. Oh, instant grab. What is that garbage? I think we can kill him there, and there we have it. He is treated as a mage. You do have to rip his heart out. Yeah, and then that's it. So we actually got, wow, you get 3 from him? How did I never notice that before? That is good. That is, did I have that already? Thought I was equipping a defensive one, but that is really good. So he might be level 12. That might have been from him. There's 2 right there. Stamina recovery. So he looks like he is probably level 12 as well, which is, again, kind of strange. Did we get a level 12 of this? Yeah, we did. There it is. Melee damage and attack speed. So we actually played the entire game with basically no bonus to melee damage, which surprisingly just didn't exist. In the base game, the artifacts always roll their primary stat, I think is how it works. So like the blues, I think, always roll health as a first stat or something, and these always roll like melee damage, and these might always roll something else. I don't remember exactly how it works, but basically it's typically like a base value somewhere. And there might be 2 base values on some of them, so that you might get one or the other. Also, these little statues show how many people died. I don't know how to read these, but I guess the more little bloody writs, I think that's what it's a reference to from like Salt 1. The more little notes that are stacked on there, it's how many people died to the boss. But where are we at? Let's go home. But yeah, so the Nameless Bibliomancer is level 19, but the final boss is level 12. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I knew he was lower, but I don't know about that. Have any ash peers? Really? No clusters there either. Okay, whatever. I can't upgrade my stuff. And I will note that I'm wearing a lot of armor. It looks like a lot. I did change the visuals of the numbers, so they're just doubled. So it looks like I'm wearing like way crazier armor than I actually am. But yeah, it just tallies up and says it's twice as much. So this is like 10, and then it gets doubled to 20, and then that's 259, and then something else is giving me defense here, 7.8%. So it's, you know, just a little bit more than stuff. Let us level up. That was a lot of level ups. So he gives really good salt, apparently, and that's how I feel about that. Let's go and get more vitality. I like to spread my tree around instead of doubling down on individual nodes. I find the individual nodes to be well, you have less space. So if you spread out and you have the access to it, I usually just say do that. Take level 2 daggers, or take level 1 bow, or level 1 staff, or something like that if you need the stat that's already there. You're still getting the stat. You're just getting an extra skill node for weapons. I'm going to test something out. I know that this probably works. I'm pretty sure I've done it before, but it's been a long time. By not going on, you either have to kill the tree, which is like a conduit to the gods, or you have to take the place of the sacrifice to end the game. And there are 2 different endings based on which choice you make. It will put you into New Game Plus when you make that choice. I still didn't kick that down, really. Gosh. Please don't kill me. I just want you to move. Okay, bye. We're just going this way again, because I apparently forgot to do the thing. We need to switch back to this weapon, because we're not dealing with the mage. Ow. So when you're actually playing this game for yourself, one of the things I see a lot of, I don't know, complaints or contention about is the need to farm constantly. I skipped every mage that I could. And that maybe just isn't how you want to play, but that is a way to play. It's not where I wanted to go. This is where I wanted to go. Did I come from here? Did I go way past this? Did I go all the way up that far? Oh, my memory is breaking. Oh, what is this? Golden Pyre brick. Well, that's handy. Okay, now I have that. Oh. Okay. Nothing over here, just checking. And then you can buy some stuff from this guy. So you can buy like the golden hammer or the blood gem great blade. Oh, I don't have money. I never have money. But just some basic weapons. They just do physical damage. So if you want like a tier 5 physical, that's where they're at. He can hear the gods. Of course he can. Of course he can. Anyway, I just wanted to show that after I kind of went the wrong... Well, I went the right way, but you get the idea. So you can, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've done this before. Just come back up here and do it all over again. Which means that you can farm relics. That's not where I want to go. That's just... I think that's where one of the dudes was standing and he's no longer there. If only there were secret doors. I liked the secret doors in the first game. I'll just touch it. Okay. Grab the ledge. Grab the ledge. There we go. I've offended their shrine and now they're gone. No, you cannot repeat the boss. I could have sworn you could. Okay, well. Here's one of the endings. Stabbing the tree. As far as I understand, or my interpretation, if you will, not an official interpretation, we have pulled away the direct influence of the gods over the area of Alterstone. And as such, we offend the gods. We offend the gods for a final time. And that ends the world, basically. But it only ends Alterstone, really. I can't skip this. But that's it. That's it. That's the run. Thanks for sticking with it. If you made it all the way this far, I really appreciate the time you've spent to watch these videos. And I hope you really enjoyed various aspects of the mod, my rambling, my talking, whatnot. I think the game is interesting as it is in vanilla. I just have, personal qualms after hundreds of hours of the game. I do not typically play a New Game Plus on really any game. So my mod isn't really focused on balancing New Game Plus in any way, but just kind of some different kind of balances and some different kind of focuses, and a lot of it kind of goes back to the early vanilla versions and kind of taking it from there. So it's kind of a deviation from some of the updates that the original or the official devs did. And as a note, I had nothing to do with the development of this game other than being a playtester. I did probably influence by some comments and some commentary, some ideas, but I don't think I really created anything in this game directly. This game was actually being originally idealized and built engine-wise somewhere around the time that Desalinated was actually becoming popular, 2019, 2020. And so a lot of my conversations about the engine of Salt and Sanctuary are believed to actually have led to some of the changes in sacrifice for the engine, such as having split soft caps on weapons so that you could actually have an arcane strength sword that didn't require you to go 40 points into strength and 40 points into arcane and whatnot. So things like that. But it's been a really good time to work with Ska Studios in the official capacities that I have, but also to just kind of play around with the modding of both of these games as well. But stay tuned. I may do some game reviews in the near future and possibly some mono game tutorials or overviews of some of the stuff I've learned as well. Until then, take care and keep on gaming.